I won't be able to show the entire system because it's an inventory management system and a delivery system all sort in one. But what this is here, this is the coding part. It's a form, as we can see. It's got a CSS back image, it's got fields and submit button. Where we achieve this is in scripts.google.com, and as we said, we've got two different functions here. We've got a do get, which is basically telling it to get these here products from this here sheet. Products feed, that's the URL, and then the one beneath it, the function user clicked, is to then send that information. As we can see, column names here, for instance, user click the name. That's just to log it anyway, you don't really need that. But what I'll show you here quickly is I'll open this up, and like I said, we're looking for products feed, and we'll quickly change a product. Why not? Let's see what we've got. So you can see we've got this. So we'll change CCTV system to bananas. Now in what it's calling from here, products feed, as we can see in the formula here, it actually feeds from my system sheet, which is here. So if we were to change it to, I don't know, let's say bananas. As soon as we hit that out, it saves it there. If we go back to here, refresh the sheet, we should hopefully see CCTV system replaced with bananas. I'm going to obviously go and change it back because I don't want bananas. I'm going to update that, and it'll go back to CCTV again. Another couple of things I'll point out: when we use delivery field yes or no, then we use queries within the spreadsheets to search for orders that do contain yes. Sales order number is also used to assign where it comes from, being this will be RMD web app 5 when we fill it in, and the customer number, what that does is obviously attach it to the customer, and in other parts of the workbook where you can enter it directly into the spreadsheet. So if you enter the customer number, it will bring up the delivery details, and when you enter a product, it'll bring up the accompanying price, things like that. These are things we've got to write into these. We have to do a lot more of this. I'll give a quick description of this before I then pause the video to fill out the form because it's quite long. So I've just explained these two to you what we're doing. Now it pulls it from that. Did I show that products feed? Yeah, there anyway. So we can see the sheet pulls it from here, which pulls it from system. So even if you had like 800 stores or websites all selling the same product, you'd only have to update it, say here, domain, that's it, and then all 800 websites could call up this range into their own web app or anything. These are best designed slightly different, maybe for a mobile device, and if you think things like festivals or people's out selling things on a market or whatever, this moves that quick, which you'll see in a moment when I demonstrate. It takes like about 1-2 elephants maximum to move this throughout the cloud, throughout the entire system. Like I say, you could then, on a mobile, you'd lay it out different, because you've obviously got to think about responsiveness. So you just have a row like this with the questions, and you don't have to have so many questions. You can just send free fields, and then this system can look for everything and do it. Like I'm at 3 minutes already. Right, let's get on. Code, let's just save that quickly. Right, so now we'll go into this. This is a CSS. It just says what colours to use them, heading 2 and heading 5, which here, look, heading 2, I think that's title, that's heading 2 or heading 5, whichever. So that shows the CSS, that shows the image. It calls it up from my Google Cloud storage bucket, as can be seen there. And if we look at the sales JavaScript, what this does is this is a date picker, which in a moment, when I'm working my way through the form, I'll show you. When you click in the date field, it offers a calendar. This calendar can be linked to a deliveries calendar, so the delivery drivers know where it's going and when. But for now, on the time frame, it didn't have a lot. This is just the variables for the user info that gets entered into the phone. As we see, delivery sales order, these all have to tally perfectly. If you get one of these wrong, just say if I called that pref date as well, the form wouldn't work, the data wouldn't move. And again, same thing down here, google.script.run, when user clicks, send user information to there. And sales form, this is just basically the HTML, but as we can see, this is a bit what calls up the list. This is about the most complex bit in it. These are just here, if we look, tells you it's a row. Then we've got input field, that's just to say what size. The rows are 12, so if you want 3 fields, wherever, like here you'd 4, but this one would probably be like 6, 2 and 4 or something like that. I'm sure you get it. Each row has to equal 12. You can go down, you could have 12 ones if you wanted to and have 12 rows. Right, so I think I've fully explained all of that for you. Yeah, so what I'm going to do for a minute is I'll just show you anyway quickly. So I can fill in form as we see it. I'll just put that in now. I'm going to pause the video while I fill the rest of it in, because it's quite long. And I would just like to point out, you can have all these forms in different orders and everything, and when it pulls it into the spreadsheet, it'll extrapolate what data needs to go where. So if your form is much different to another company's form, you can both send the same type of data, and you can have a spreadsheet that looks for it and extrapolates and then matches it all together and puts it into one logical, reasonable table. And right, I'll just pause now. Right, that's all that's filled in, look. Oh, I didn't put delivery in there, that stopped everything working. Right, so I've got all these details in, let's have a look. Everything's filled in correctly. Yep, so now when we press submit, we're going to want to see here RMD web app 5 and a yes within like an elephant or two. Quick, that's how fast that one. So if you're out in the field, for instance, and you're having to do lots of quick sales, handheld device, this form, and then once I do the further code that I need to do for this, I'll then be able to pull in the quantity and the price automatically. Things like, you're not going to need all these fields anyway if you're doing it mobile, to be fair. You could just capture a product, the quantity, and the email address, and that could become a customer number or something like that. Let's just have a look over here. So make sure everything's come through okay. Scroll down a bit there. It's looking good. Everything's come through. Look. So for the purposes of the project, I think pretty much that could be a wrap. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it and show it just where it goes into the deliveries and things like that. But I have covered so far, you know, the code, the reason for it, and the personal reflections and improvements are things like to auto-complete these fields when something's brought in, like, you know, how many ring doorbell, so we've got 6 in stock, it'll tell you how much they are, things like that. And we'll just go off and have a look elsewhere now. I think, can I close most of that? Close most of that, keep this open. I'm bearing in mind I'm on 7 minutes, so I'll try not to take up more than 10 minutes of your time if you've got that. So let's see where we're at now. Right, so we've seen sales web app, and then we're going to go and have a look at the delivery web app. Right, so on delivery web app, we can see web app 5's come through, the comments, we can see the timestamp, we can see the postcode prefix, which what this does here, postcode, look. If we go into here, it'll look up O2, which is this, and then it'll search carriers. Let's just go find that for you quickly. Carriers, and it'll search through carriers, and it will look for Nelly being SL3. If we change that, let's see, delivery web app. So if we go on to here, let's just see and change this. I will put it back, but who did we have? CT9. I shouldn't actually have to put all that in anyway. Let's see now. Deliveries. Oscar, web app 5. Where are you at, buddy? C4, C5, C6, C2, web app 5. There. And we've got Nelly, it's SL3, so that one didn't exactly feed through perfectly, did it? Delivery sales web app. See that there? That's definitely not fed through correctly. Why not? Sometimes we get these little bugs. Web app 3, web app 3. Bam, garage, that's fine, Nelly. So anyway, that's as we get through to there. Pause a moment for a break. That human error on about, look, I've changed the postcode there, so what we'll do is, if it wants to undo it ever, change the customer one back because it's a delivery one I should have changed, which we'll see is further along here. Watch. Brilliant. Sales web app. Scroll across. Delivery postcode. This is what we need to change. Let's just try that for instance. Then go back to delivery sales form and not delivery sales form. Not deliveries neither. Delivery web app, should I say. So now it's changed to Nikki. Look, sorry if I'm going a bit off. CT9 Nikki. Let's change it to SL3 again. If we want to change up, this is one of the other things I do need to brush up on. Watch. If I now change the delivery postcode on the sales web app, sorry, I said a lodger just walk in the kitchen then. Brilliant. Right, so let's see again, as we see here, we've changed the postcode on there. So CT9, let's change this to ME10 for NE, and then we're going to find we have a problem with the carrier. When we go over here, watch, delivery sales web app, carrier not applicable. This reason is, for this I discovered, it drove me mad for a minute or two, but when I'm shortening down the postcode, I shouldn't have to. So Simon now, look, carriers, ME10, Simon. So that's one of the other user inputs that has to be done here. I'm going to change that back to as it was, to SL3. There we go. Right, now when we go back again, we're going to discover that it's not applicable. Did not find value SL3. So what I'm having to look at is asterisks and wildcards, adding them in. So that's probably on my next lesson. So that was through. So see now it was back through to Nelly. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly pause. Look, I've gone 12 minutes. I'll show one more thing and then I'll finish it up. So if we bring over carrier Nellies, we've got 7 carriers. Seen how many we've got, but I'm just going to demonstrate one quickly. As we can see, it's being pulled over the RMD web app A5, and it brings it over from query import range, search deliveries, where column 11 equals Nelly. And then, let's see, web app 5, at the moment, we can see we've got NAs. It's saying it's not in existence, and I'll show you why. So when we go into Nelly's form, here, which gets populated by, can I find one open quickly? Let's go through the rigmarole again. Is that there? Surely. There we go. Right, so we've got Nelly form here, so submit another response. Let's pull this up to explain again, sorry. So these fields here are going to be populated by this here form. And then once this here form populates, this is looking for it. Look, it's looking for RMD web app 5 in VLOOKUP evaluation, but it's not there at the moment, and that's still, it's looking up in the other sheet, it's not looking up in this one. So if we go back to Nelly's form again, as we can see, we've not got anything there, so we'll pull Nelly's. Should we do half and half to see how quickly this moves? Let's do half and half. Right, so I'll bring Nelly back over. Bear with me a second. Right, so now, what we're going to want to see, and we've got that as equals, right, that needs to be equals A3. The reason it does this is because it sends it in, and then I'll pretty much hide column A. We've got it in there. You can see it's a minute, but I hide it, and it brings this over to do with the order. But without further ado, fill that in, yes, and the comment was leave it in the garage or something, wasn't it? Like, leave behind the garage. Left behind the garage. We can also add like a photo image field onto this, so then they could just take a picture where they left it behind the garage, and that would get automatically emailed through. But that's like about another 4-6 weeks worth of work doing more coding and feeding everything through. So let's see now. Count elephants. 1 elephant. Oh, there you go. Well, it added an empty row because I deleted one. Not to worry. Right, so let's have a look now. We've got that. The timestamp obviously needs to just drag down. Not easy. I would just have it going all the way down and then just hide the things and the time start hiding things like the hashtag and stuff like that. Right, so that's gone through now. So let's maximize this again. Let's have a look back in Nellie's. So now we've got Nellie's comments, look, and Nellie's timestamp. Now what this does is, if we go back to inventories, if we go into here and go to deliveries, we've got all these coming through, look. Left behind the garage there. Jill's comment appears not to have come through, but this is if we've not got one. Let's see actually. No, that's pulling the same one through there, look. So MA, hang on, tell you what. That's L2, that's L2, that's L2. Should they actually be L2? So let's have a quick player and see if this should then go to L3. Loading, yes, it's looking like. This is another thing with Google Sheets, I will say. When you drag down, it doesn't automatically do these, which is quite annoying. Switch it off, 4, 5, 6. So, as you can imagine, doing it for all these columns like this manually, it's quite annoying. And by the time you could even write a macro to begin doing it, you may as well have done it this way. So, a little bit of feedback here to Google. You're not very good at pulling through, buddy. Maybe I've gone too high there. Let's see, L2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's good. Same here, look. I'm reckoning that's okay. So if we go M9, because we're following a pattern of 9s. Come on, looking good or not? Yeah. Well, so I'm an accepted package. We can obviously do. Let's see if we can just drag them all down and then. Oh no, see, I didn't really want that to happen, did I? Again. Always happens when you're filming, by the way. I've done lots of videos for YouTube and that, and it pretty much kills you. Alright, so now we see we need to just hopefully 9 work as way along. Oh, that's just champion, that looks, that one's not come through. 2 needs to be a 9. 9, P8, P9. As we're seeing a lot of negative here, look, that's definitely something wrong there, which needs, again, addressing. Right, I'm going to leave it here because 17 minutes, I think that's more than enough. Bye, if you're still here.